Edward White Benson was the Archbishop of Canterbury from 1883 until his death. Life. Edward White Benson was born at Lombard Street in Highgate, Birmingham on 14 July 1829, the son of Birmingham chemical manufacturer Edward White Benson Sr. and his wife Harriet Baker Benson. He was educated at King Edward's School, Birmingham, and Trinity College, Cambridge, where he graduated BA in 1852. At King Edward's, Benson manifested a deeply religious tone of mind and was fond of sermons. Schoolmaster at Rugby and Wellington. Benson began his career as a schoolmaster at Rugby School in 1852, and was ordained deacon in 1852 and priest in 1857. In 1859 Benson was chosen by Prince Albert as the first master of Wellington College, Berkshire, which had been built as the nation's memorial to the Duke of Wellington. Benson was largely responsible for establishing Wellington as a public school, closely modelled on Rugby School, rather than the military academy originally planned. Lincoln and Truro. From 1872 to 1877 he served as Chancellor of Lincoln Cathedral, at which in 1874 he set up a theological college. He was then appointed first Bishop of Truro, where he served from 1877 to 1882. He founded Truro High School for Girls in 1880. In 1883, he was appointed Archbishop of Canterbury. 5 years later, Benson avoided the prosecution before a lay tribunal of Edward King, Bishop of Lincoln, under the Public Worship Regulation Act 1874 for 6 ritual offences by hearing the case in his own archiepiscopal court. In his judgment, he found against the bishop on 2 points, with a proviso as to a third: that, when performing the manual acts during the prayer of consecration in the Holy Communion service, the priest must stand so that they can be seen by the people. Benson tried to amalgamate the 2 convocations and the new houses of laity into a single assembly. In 1896 it was established that they could unofficially meet together. In September of the same year, the papal apostolic letter Apostolicae Curae was published, and Benson had started to work on a reply before his sudden death of a heart attack. He died while attending Sunday service in St. Daniel's Church, Arden, Wales, on the 11th of October 1896, during a visit to former Prime Minister William Gladstone. 3 days later his body was put on the train at Sandycroft Station to be returned to London. He was buried at Canterbury Cathedral in a magnificent tomb located at the western end of the nave. The tomb is emblazoned with the epitaph Benson had chosen: Miserere me Deus per crucem me passionem tuum libera me Christ. His devotion to St. Cyprian bore posthumous fruit with the publication of Cyprian, his life, his times, his work the following year. Legacy. Benson is best remembered for devising the Festival of 9 Lessons and Carols, an order first used in Truro Cathedral on Christmas Eve, 1880. Considerably revised by Eric Milner White for King's College, Cambridge, this service is now used every Christmas around the world. Benson was the founder of the Church of England Purity Society, an organization which later merged with the White Cross Army. Alfred Ryder served as a trustee of the organization. Benson told Henry James a simple, rather inexpert story he had heard about the ghosts of evil servants who tried to lure young children to their deaths. James recorded the hint in his notebooks and eventually used it as the starting point for his classic ghost story, The Turn of the Screw. The hymn, God is Working His Purpose Out, was written by Arthur C. Ainger as a tribute to Benson, as both were masters at Eton and Rugby respectively. In 1914, a boarding house at Wellington College was named after him. Benson House carries the emblem of a blue Tudor rose, and is situated outside of the main college. In 2011, her book about Mary Benson characterized her husband as living a life of relentless success. Personal life. Benson married his second cousin Mary Sidgwick, the sister of philosopher Henry, when she was 18. The couple had 6 children. The 5th child was the novelist E.F. Benson, best remembered for his Map and Lucia novels. Another son was A.C. Benson, the author of the lyrics to Elgar's Land of Hope and Glory, and master of Magdalen College, Cambridge. The 6th and youngest child, Robert Hugh Benson, became a minister of the Church of England before converting to Roman Catholicism and writing many popular novels. Their daughter, Margaret Benson, was an artist, author, and amateur Egyptologist. None of the children married, and some appeared to suffer from mental illnesses, possibly bipolar disorder. After the Archbishop's death, his widow set up household with Lucy Tate, daughter of the previous Archbishop of Canterbury, Archibald Campbell Tate. A full-length biography of Mary Benson, drawing on her numerous letters, was published in 2011. It cast new and unexpected light on the Bensons' domestic life, ancestry. The Benson family was of Scandinavian origin with the name of Bjornsson. The Bensons emerge into history as an English family in 1348 when John Benson held a toft from the Abbey at Swinton by Massam. Arthur Christopher Benson, the Archbishop's son, wrote a genealogy of his family. He found that old Christopher Benson was the real founder of the fortunes of the Benson family, having acquired a good deal of land. He also established a large business. Archbishop Edward White Benson's grandfather was Captain White Benson, of the 6th Regiment of Foot. The Archbishop's seal and the captain's coat of arms show the branch of the Benson family arms were blazoned. Argent, a quatrefoil between 2 trefoils slipped in bent sable, between 4 bendlets gules. The Archbishop's father was Edward White Benson. He was a Fellow of the Royal Botanical Society of Edinburgh and the author of books on education and religion. He was also an inventor whose inventions made considerable fortunes for others, but not for him. Works: Boy Life, Its Trial, Its Strength, Its Fullness, Sundays in Wellington College, 1859 to 1873. The 7 Gifts, Christ and His Times, addressed to the Diocese of Canterbury in his 2nd visitation. Living Theology, Cyprian, His Life, His Times, His Work. J. H. Bernard, ed. Archbishop Benson in Ireland, a record of his Irish sermons and addresses 1896. The Apocalypse, an introductory study of the revelation of St. John the Divine.